Hi, ASBX. I'm Michael Markesbery. I'm the co-founder and CEO of OROS. OROS is a materials technology company on a mission to unlock human exploration. Today, we're going to be talking about space tech and its application in apparel. My story is super simple. My sophomore year of college, I went backpacking across Europe, climbed the tallest mountain in the Northeast Swiss Alps, and I looked just like this guy. Tons of bulk and tons of layers. And I remember thinking that there had to be a better way to cut the bulk, cut the layers, and still stay warm. The jacket that I was wearing was this big puffy jacket, wasn't really keeping me warm, and it was insulated with animal byproducts. Goose down. The same technology we've been using for hundreds, if not thousands of years. At the same time, we were using the CRISPR-Cas9 gene system to edit human genomes. Space tourism was a reality. All of these other industries have evolved at this rapid pace, while this one didn't. A little later on in college, I ended up getting really lucky. I got a scholarship created by the Mercury 7 astronauts called the Astronaut Scholarship. Through that scholarship, I learned about this incredible space material called Aerogel. NASA said that Aerogel was the lowest thermal conductive solid in existence, the best insulation in the world. So good. NASA was taking this material and using it to insulate spacecraft like the Mars rover in the negative 450-degree Fahrenheit temperatures of space, close to absolute zero. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, could you imagine if we could harness the power of this incredible technology and bring it into every insulated consumer product? We could solve this problem that I had where I looked like the Michelin man on top of the mountain. I pitched this idea right before an organic chemistry exam to my best friend, now co-founder and COO of OROS, Rith McDonough. He got excited. We bought our first sample of aerogel, put it in our hand, and learned immediately why this stuff wasn't being used ubiquitously in insulated consumer products. We put it in our hand, and that aerogel shattered into 1,000 little pieces. Turns out this aerogel stuff is super brittle, too brittle to use in insulated consumer products. So Rith and I became maniacally obsessed about this problem. How do you take the best insulation in the world and just make it flexible and durable enough so you can use it in insulated consumer products like apparel? We spent 2 years working on this, and we ended up creating the first ever flexible, durable aerogel composite in the world. It's called SOLARCORE. SOLARCORE has been tested against over 250 other insulations, almost every goose down, synthetic, and closed cell foam. It beats them all. That is incredible. But what makes SOLARCORE really special gets back to that problem that I had where I looked like the Michelin man on top of this mountain. Bulk. Almost every insulation that's ever existed has needed bulk or loft or airspace to work. Think about goose down. The way goose down works is goose down traps air. The more air it traps, the more insulation it gives you. The problem is air takes volume or space. So the more air you funnel in there, the puffier and puffier your jacket gets. You compress that jacket, you lose all the airspace, you lose the ability to stay warm. So there's this dependency on volume, on loft, on bulk to stay warm. That is not true with SOLARCORE. SOLARCORE under compression, 15 psi, maintains 97% of its thermal performance. Point being, for the first time in history, you can have a thin amount of insulation that actually keeps you warm. Or said another way, for the first time in history, you no longer have to look like the Michelin man. That's the big difference. That's the special sauce. That's what makes SOLARCORE so incredible. After Rith and I created SOLARCORE, we were fortunate enough to get it patented. And with SOLARCORE, we launched OROS Apparel, our consumer brand, where every product is insulated with our SOLARCORE technology. We create warmer gear without any of the bulk. We're fortunate enough that our company, OROS Apparel, has at least doubled every year from a revenue perspective, grown over 100%. We built up a phenomenal team of people that I'm honored to work with, raised a good amount of venture capital, and we're very much looking forward to the future. We ship globally to over 50 countries, including Australia. What we did with SOLARCORE is we created warmer gear without any of the bulk. We perfected an antiquated system. We made a better mousetrap. What Rith and I wanted to do, though, was a lot bigger. We didn't just want to make warmer gear without any of the bulk. We wanted to completely transform this antiquated market. We wanted to make a long sleeve shirt that could keep our consumer warm, sub-freezing. And to do that, you've got to rethink insulated apparel. You can't just put something inside of a jacket and hope for the best. You've got to make a fiber, a really, really, really warm fiber, the warmest fiber on earth that you then spin up into a garment. We didn't think it was possible. We didn't think you could make such a warm fiber because if you remember, the original aerogel was so brittle. If you put that aerogel onto a fiber in any meaningful capacity, the fiber would also become brittle, or the aerogel particles would shed. So we didn't think this whole thing could work. That all changed in 2016. 2016, NASA created a whole new class of aerogel materials based on polymers. We were fortunate enough, along with our R&D partners, to receive exclusive licenses from NASA on this new class of polymer aerogel materials. Over the last 4 years, as we've been building the OROS Apparel brand, we've also been spending that time working on this incredible technology. We built up an R&D team under the name OROS Labs with the sole purpose of creating this fiber that completely revolutionizes insulated apparel. Right at the beginning of COVID, we had a board meeting. Our chief technology officer walked into the board meeting with a little Pelican case, put it down on the table, opened it up, and showed the board the first ever polymeric aerogel fiber in the world. It's the warmest fiber on the planet. There is still so much to do to go from a fiber in a lab scale to a commercialized product, to a product that a consumer loves and wants to wear. We've been fortunate enough to raise a good amount of venture capital from some really phenomenal venture capital firms, as well as individual investors. But we also wanted to partner with some agencies that could help us scale. So we partnered with the United States Department of Defense, where our technology is being prototyped and utilized in a variety of different applications for a variety of different thermal properties. This relationship's been phenomenal. We're very much looking forward to the future on this front. I am very excited to announce, for those that would like a long sleeve shirt that keeps them warm, sun freezing, we are launching this technology in fall of 2022. And that's OROS. That's what we do. And that's how we take space tech and put it into apparel. Ultimately, OROS is a materials technology company on a mission to unlock human exploration. And the way we do that is through OROS Labs, where we create the most scientifically advanced thermal insulations on the planet based on space tech, and we put it out into the world with our consumer brand OROS Apparel and our strategic partnerships with other brands, as well as the United States Department of Defense. If you ever want more information on OROS, that's my personal email at the bottom of the screen, michael@orosapparel.com. I also encourage you, should you want gear, to please visit our site at www.orosapparel.com. ASBX, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you. I'm looking forward to the future. Thank you.